Jules. I'm a political science major and I'm originally from Queens, New York. A little bit about my experience with the RISE program. Mine was more so, being that I'm not a STEM major, I'm a political science major, so we had a lot of social engagement with different types of conferences such as FERC that I presented at during the undergraduate research conference. I actually worked on enhancing voter equity in Volusia County, and we assessed people's awareness of if there was any biases, if so, in our current district in Volusia. And I got to present that when we have our on-campus academic showcases, and so I got to meet with different people that alumni that went here as well, and I was able to present my research for them, and I was awarded a nice medal and actual certificate with my name on it for the work that I was doing, so I felt very grateful for that. When I first got here, I seen it at my freshman year when I transferred from my school upstate New York. I was just so immersed in the culture of the HBCU culture, so I seen y'all had it as a flyer on a screen in the math building, and I was like, oh, I want to do that. But then I seen originally that specific program was for STEM majors, and I was like, oh, okay. They said, next time apply again, and then we can see if there's any openings for the summertime where I can be able to be a part of it. And then I actually I sent an email to Dr. McCoy about my interest in partaking in some research that I heard that she was having, that she's looking to do a proposal for. And being that I reached out to her, she reached out to me, I felt like it was a perfect opportunity where God took the opportunity to allow me to be one of the students that are doing this research on the voter equity. And it turns out that I got to collaborate with another organization that Dr. McCoy had put us a part of, which is Up to Us, which we promote fiscal policy on campus. So being a part of RISE definitely pushed my acceptance into those programs, where I got to do a lot of civic and community engagement. I would describe my experience to others as hands-on experiential learning, because it's like you're doing real-world work in school. So when you go outside in the workforce, you know exactly what you're doing. Well, not exactly what you're doing, but you know the steps, the scientific steps to take in conducting research. And I would say it's exhilarating because you're learning something on the level that people that are doing ongoing research from PhDs and master's programs, and you're starting it in undergrad. So to see a seed like that planted here, it makes you feel empowered as well, and you just feel like you have a support system, because the RISE team was definitely a good support system. One of my greatest lessons I learned during my RISE experience was more so resilience. And when time gets hard during research, because it will get hard during your research, and sometimes you feel like you're at a brick wall, you realize that research, sometimes the work that you're doing is you're the first of the person that's conducting this types of research. So along the lines, they're gonna probably, if people are doing that research that you're doing, let's say Dr. Mary McLeod, she started her work way back when, and we're experiencing everything that she worked so hard for. So being with RISE, starting your research, it can get tough, but you have your support network, you keep pushing forward and being resilient, you definitely will have that lasting impact. If you intend to make an impact, you'll be sure to have that impact. My mentor, which is Dr. McCoy, she's amazing. She's very hands-on, and she introduced the experiential learning to me, and I didn't know what that was at first. I wasn't too sure about Florida's laws as well, because that's coming in as a freshman originally and then sophomore, and that's me changing from criminal justice to political science. So they actually broke down the legislative process in Florida, which is a little different, maybe a lot different from New York. And I got to see and learn the other perspective of the democratic systems. And I got to actually visit the Capitol. So being that I was able to do that, the Florida Capitol, and just understand and sit in the conferences and see how people make their decisions, and the people that are, which is us, the grassroots organizations that are going out and saying we are for this bill, we oppose this bill, this is why, and then we all just have the idea in the social science aspect of it and the political frames that we are pushing towards a more equitable future for people that look like us and people that don't. One thing I wish I've known before starting my experience: I don't have to stay in one, especially with the social sciences. You don't have to stay in one. If you find out that the questions you have during your research is leading you to a dead end, you don't have to stay in there. You can reframe the question. You can do hands-on like work here on campus to ask the students on campus, even if it's uncomfortable, you walk up to them and be like, how do you feel about this or this? So you can have this like sense of community here with RISE, because you never know, it's a small campus. Whoever you walk up to may be a part of the RISE program as well, and they can tell you about their experiences when they encountered like a stiff wall, brick wall, or dead end, and how they reconstructed their pathway out of that. So one thing I wish I learned was to be sure to reach out to the students on campus that are just walking by me every day, because you never know if they'll be able to help. Yes, I learned a lot of new platforms, especially being able to do the transdisciplinary data science. That taught me how to use the platforms that I wasn't too familiar with. If you give me an Excel sheet, I can do it on that browser. Oh my goodness. But we had an access key basically, and I learned how to use the access key to get into that very private top security data workshop where you can convert different charts. And I would say definitely the technical skills from there. I would say I learned how to maneuver Excel sheets and data sets and analyze data. I definitely would recommend it because you leave learning skills that you didn't know before. Like, that's a win-win. Honestly, I would say that this is an experience that is unique and unlike any other because you're doing hands-on work. So yes, you have classwork, which is just work that you learned that we've been learning for hundreds of years. But when you're doing research or you're conducting one of its own kind, or especially your version of it, and you can compare that to other researchers on your same topic or similar, I feel like that opens you up to become a pioneer. And it's very important to be a pioneer in your own right, because we all have ideas, and you never know, our ideas could be the next cure to, let's say, a very infectious disease. Just to be like an individual as a student at a HBCU and have a program called RISE that supports you to rise during these times is really a really grateful experience. The next step in my career path is definitely graduate school or law school, and I say those two because I have an idea of where I want to go for law school. I want to go to either New York or California, and being that I'm from New York and going back to New York to just with all these skills that I've learned here from Cookman and the RISE program would definitely, it's making me go back home with a fresh perspective, and I can dive into like a bigger playing field, a diverse playing field with more knowledge that I didn't have from being just at home. And as far as my LSAT score, being in the RISE program taught me perseverance and not to completely crash out when things aren't going right. So I would say I want to work towards getting my LSAT higher. I would probably like some like support, if like there's like a study group for people that are doing law, that we can like do it together or something. I definitely want to strengthen that so I can continue to do the work that I know that I'm able to do. I'm applying to NCCU, North Carolina Central University in Durham, as well as Wayne State in Michigan for law, and I'm applying to the Krummer Graduate School of Business in Winter Park, Florida in Orlando. So for me to have like political science as like my undergrad and have an MBA, or let's say a joint program, JD and MBA, having that experience under my belt before even going into law, into that playing field, I would say definitely is one of my main goals. I'd like to share an experience that I will never forget. I actually got to join the Florida Classic for the first time. I presented at the Florida Classic conference, and I'd never been to the Classic, so at least I made it there. Thank you, RISE. Yes, okay, some final thoughts I have is definitely I recommend the RISE program. If you're a freshman and you want to excel in your career, you want to build upon skills that can put you to the level that you want to be at in life when you leave school. Think about anything that you do, especially in the RISE program, as the journey and platform for where you want to be 5 years from now. You know how they always say, like, if it doesn't matter in 5 years, don't spend no more than 5 minutes on it. I recommend you spend more than 5 minutes on the RISE program, because it will matter in 5 years. It will. And I definitely say that with the RISE program, it embodies what it's called. It's called RISE. And so whenever I am feeling low or having to deal with so much pressures of either school or just life in itself, and then you have like a RISE pencil that you're doing homework with, or like a RISE t-shirt or a RISE water bottle, like these are things that makes you realize this is the mission, this is what we're working towards. And just RISE, you have a support network. The RISE program is for students that know that even if you don't understand it right now, your goal is to rise. And so you continue to push forward and persevere, you definitely will get amazing outcomes as long as you stay true to yourself. And that's one thing I can say in the RISE program, whether you're a STEM major or political or social science major, I would say stay true to yourself and don't be afraid to speak up. And that's how you continue to rise.